Hello friends and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson we are going to learn how to create persuasive messages. Now a persuasive message is something where we are trying to get someone to our point of view to believe what we are trying to say or to act in favor of what we want them to do. Now we have been talking about this. And the first point where we start researching is to do some content research. So, whatever kind of persuasion you want in your speech or in your writing, in your communication, let me say, then you need to do this content research. You need to find out as much as you require about the topic, whatever you're going to talk about. See, even if you're doing this in office, if you're going to be making a presentation on adoption of some new technology, if you're going to make a presentation on creation of a new facility, if you're going to make a presentation on purchase of new equipment, now all these are persuasive topics. You need to persuade people to see things from your point of view. If you need to persuade the management to invest in something, if you need to persuade the management to give you more resources, so all this involves persuasive speaking. So first of all, whatever you're going to talk about, you should find out as much as you require about the topic. Sometimes you must try to acquire more content than you would ever require, because when you are writing your proposal or you are presenting it, there will be people in the audience who might know more about the topic than you do. That is why this research on content becomes extremely important. Now, what do you do to research? You would have your own data based on who or what, who has been working on it and what kind of material they already have, which has been shared with you. So you should also discuss, you should also find out, you should also do your research so that you have a body of content ready with you to be structured in order to create your persuasive message. Now, once you've got some content, once you've got some data, now you need to get clarity on this content, because unless you have clarity on content, you will not know where to fit what. See, having content these days, there's no shortage of content. There's so much content available that you would be spoilt for choice. There's too much content available. It's flying around, it's floating around. So everywhere we've got content. But we'll need to choose content. We'll need to have clarity on content and its usage for our objectives, for our purpose. So that is the first thing that you need to think about. That is the first thing that you need to write down. What do I want to convey? If I want to convey to my audience the importance of installing this software, then I will have to create my persuasive proposal or message in such a way that by the time I come to the end of my proposal, by the time I come to the end of my message, people should already be convinced that investing in this software would be a greatly beneficial thing for the organization. So this should be the power in your persuasive message. And that power can only come through clarity. It can only come through relevance of content. It can only come through great structuring. So once you've decided what you want to convey, then look at the data you have. That will this data help me convey what I want to convey? If it won't help, so when you look at the data, look at it as someone who's reading it. and then say, would I be convinced if I read this? And then the answer will come to you automatically. No, I need more data. What are the arguments that you have in mind? What are the arguments that you think will make you convey what you want to convey? Now, if your arguments sound weak, if you are not convinced with your own arguments, then so again you'll get the answer that you need better arguments. What are the examples that you can quote? What are the examples that you have with you? So look at them in view of the arguments, in view of the data, in view of what you want to convey. Once you look at that, then what will happen? You'll get an answer. Oh, these examples, they are not convincing enough. They are not persuasive enough. So then you will look for better examples. And this is how your persuasiveness index in that communication is going to go up. Now, another thing that you need to get clarity on is when I am standing there in front of an audience presenting my proposal, or when I email my proposal to anyone, in my proposal, I should be able to, in my persuasive message, I should be able to weigh both the sides and clearly prove that the side I am advocating is better, is stronger. Now that's good persuasion, where I am able to show them both sides of the picture and then prove to them that look here, this side looks stronger, but the choice is yours. So then you make a choice. Whatever you want, you may choose. So this is, the way in which you should go about getting clarity on your proposal. Now, let's look at this. So I've already got clarity on this. I've done research. Now let me look at my content and manage my content. So what content do I have? So I've already worked on my content. First I did research, then I got clarity, and then when I required, I went and got some more content. Now, what content do I have? Now again, I'm going to try and manage my content. And this time when I manage my content, I'm going to roll out my beginning, my middle and my end. So I'm going to divide my content into these three divisions. I'm going to say, okay, what part of this content can I use in the beginning? What examples, what data? And in the middle, what should I build? And in the end, what is going to come to my aid? What is going to really make my presentation or my writing, my proposal, my message stand out? And friends, one of the most important thing, whenever you create content and whenever you use data, facts and figures, always remember you need to authenticate the sources. You must know the sources and you must also show the sources. Anybody can question you on any statistic, on any fact or figure, and you have to defend yourself. You have to be able to prove that whatever you are trying to show there is authentic. Now, once you have done all this, you need to now think again, do you need to look for more content? So if you need to look for more content, then you have to again go back, do your research again and come back with a little more content. Now friends, let's look at some of the topics that we have been looking at. Now we've been looking at these topics. Does social media improve or hurt our society? Many Indians watch a lot of reality TV shows. Is this a waste of time? With many people reading digital copies of books, are libraries necessary anymore? Should anything be done to curb the rise in offensive lyrics in music? Now these are all debatable topics. These are all topics that can have two sides to the story. That is why I have included them here. And now, in view of all that we have discussed in this lesson, I want you to undertake this task. Based on what we've discussed, write a short passage on any one topic from the previous slide. Follow the methodology we have talked about. Share with family and friends. Create an audio or video and share that too. So friends, you will be saying that I make you do things 2-3 times. See, I make you do things 2-3 times because that's the best way to learn. And once you follow a process, once you follow a methodology, then you also come to understand that when you follow a process, then the results happen automatically. If you don't follow a process, then results will happen sometimes and sometimes they won't happen. But if you follow a process, results will happen every time. So if you want 100% success in anything, then find out the best process to do that thing. So that's what I've tried to tell you, friends, and I hope you're going to use this and create a good passage and send it across to me as well. So thanks a lot, friends, for watching this lesson. I'm going to see you in the next. Until then, all the best.